Welcome back, everyone. I hope all is well with you. I am Blair Armstrong. If this is your first time here, welcome to Old Guys Still Rock. Again, I am Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong, Coldwell Banker, located here in beautiful Indian Wells, California. In just a short amount of time, we're going to join not only my good friend, but co-host of this show, Brent Wright, of Brent Wright Incorporated, and he is located in Eugene, Oregon. So today you've reached episode number 49. We are going to talk about, are you continuing to build? Are you building to be better? Better relationships, better marriages, better relationships with your kids, better relationships with your neighbors, better business, better community leader. What are you doing with the things that you have been giving to help to build it to become better? And that's what we're going to peel back the onion today. So before we get into this and join my good friend and co-host of the show, Brent Wright, one thing that we really need your help with. As you know, if you watch past episodes, we are never going to monetize this show. So we really need your help. We know that you're getting good information here because we hear it all the time. But please share this show with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your cohorts, whatever that's going to be is. And if you haven't done so because this is your first or second time here, hit that subscribe button, either through YouTube or Spotify, whatever you get your podcast through, but hit that stuff. And again, we have some past episodes out there and you can go back to those. So share the show, subscribe to our channel. We love you for all your support. And by the way, in this episode, we're going to unveil something super cool because we're about to take this to the next level. All right, guys, that's enough for me right now. Let's go ahead, strap in, and let's join my good friend, Brent Wright. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Old Guys Still Rock. I am Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong, Coldwell Banker, as you see behind me. And on my left, on your right, wherever it may be, is my good friend, Brent Wright Incorporated. If you only knew what we just went through to get to this point, we will share this probably at episode number 50. This is episode number 49. And we have some good subjects today. But before we get started, I want to share something with you guys. And here we go on this. Get to here. Here we go. We did it. So
we are branded. We are
branded on the great work of not only April, but we'll talk to some other people, or talk about some other people here real quick. We have a new brand. As you saw over the last couple of days, actually just of yesterday, we posted this on Facebook via Brent, and then I got it through Instagram via me. But we have a logo now. And with that being said, since they're the mastermind behind this, my co-host, Brent Wright of Brent Wright Incorporated, located in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. Dude, great job, brother.
This was my beautiful wife. She, we talked about getting some branding and some things, and she kind of heard it. She listens to every episode. Thank you, April, for supporting us and supporting us to the point that we are now branded. So super cool. Are you going to do like Yellowstone and get this branded on your chest, or what's the plan, buddy?
Well, I think that we have some stuff in the works. I think that we are going to have some apparel made up. I know that you've been working with some people, which I'm very excited for that. Some apparel. We're going to get some stuff out, man. I think that we need to recognize we've had some really special guests on here over the last 48 episodes, actually the last couple of months, almost a year now. And, when you guys comment on here. So we're going to do some cool things coming forward. As I said, we're not going to monetize this. So this is just another way to get the word out. And it's a recognition of all of your support and all of your comments, and then obviously our special guests. So who do you have? We have this apparel coming on, who I know that you have some friends that you've been working with.
Yeah, so Jessica and her husband at West River Printing in Eugene have been helping us with this. She's going to fine tune this, and we hope to get them on the show. I talked with her yesterday about it. I told her that she needed to listen to us so that way she could figure out who we were and how to help us get this cleaned up and tidied up and get us branded, get our avatar out there. So pretty jazzed about having them on the show. I think it'd be cool. They're up and coming and growing, and small business, family owned and operated. Got a couple of young kids, and she's like, I don't know if I fit your genre. I'm not an old guy, and I don't know what old guy still rocks about. And so she started listening to us, and she saw some of our guests in the past, Kate and Edna. Kate's a little younger, Edna's a little older. I know, Edna, you're still 29 if you're listening. She's just 29 again. So just like we all are. Anyways, I'm super excited about this. Thank you for the support, April and Jessica. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, super, super excited. So big thoughts to it. What I love about this is actually a good segue into our comment too, is that they're building, right? So you got this young couple that's building this business in a crazy time of environment. And that's exactly what our subject is today. Are you building, right? And as you said, we can peel back this onion a bunch. Meaning is, are you building not only a business, are you building in life in general? Are you building better relationships? Are you building better relationships with friends, with your wife, with your kids, with your neighbors? Are you building a better community? There's just so many things. So are you building? And I think that's one thing that I want to talk to you about, Brent. It's one thing that I've seen in you over, being known you for so long and watching the trials and tribulations with you is you're kind of at this point in your career. And I'm sure a lot of us, that are watching us right here, maybe kind of be in that pinnacle or in the twilight portion of our career. What keeps you building to not stay status quo or become complacent, which we talked a couple episodes ago, but so important because we've been giving this life, we've been giving this purpose by a higher power. Ours is in, our higher power is in God, and that's what we believe in. But how are you staying in that building mindset to where everything's kind of running smoothly for you right now, or visually it's running smoothly for you?
Well, that's the thing, is visually it's running smooth. So I always have this, and we've talked about it before in several episodes. I always have this poor white kid syndrome. Poor white kid from Myrtle Creek is what I used to say. In fact, I had a coach that told me to stop saying that. He said, because that's where you'll always be if you keep doing that. So in one of my coaching sessions this morning, we talked about this earlier. I talked to this young gentleman about being present and stop focusing on the past so much that you live in the past. Stop focusing on the future so much that you live in the future, and focus on today. Today is where the magic happens. Today is what's important. And grow today. Think about today where you're growing. I told you earlier I was working on this Instagram and Facebook post. And I'll read it here. I haven't posted it yet, but I will later today. The real battle of entrepreneurship is in the mind, not the strategies or the systems. We always go to strategies and systems when we're trying to solve problems. The rest of it, it's in your relationship with failure and success, how you handle disappointments, your confidence in yourself, even in the hardest times. It's why your brand can never grow past your personal development. So growth in your personal development is the most important part for growth in your business. You need to focus on being coached, being mentored at any level. I mean, if you look at some of my coaches and some of my mentors, I mean, I'm really working and striving towards daily growth, daily prosperity. And then when I look at my coaches and my mentors, I mean, one of them, he wants to be the next Nike, and he actively pursues that every day. And his goal is to become bigger and more successful than Nike. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
That's huge, right?
Nike's pretty freaking huge, and they've done a really good job. I mean, they started right here in Eugene, Oregon, building one pair of tennis shoes, right, for the track team, and they're global. And so, for me, I had to step outside myself, gain traction by getting other people engaged, and engaging mentors and coaches that are doing more and growing harder and faster than I am, and challenging me to that same mindset.
You know, and I love that you say that. I know exactly who you're talking about, and absolutely phenomenal. If anybody's going to be able to do it, that they can do it. But here's the thing that I love, that what you just said. Again, multiple years in business, multiple businesses that you have. Does that make you better than anybody else? No. But one thing is the controllable that you have is that you're still getting coaching, right? That's a big thing, right? Because again, you could be on cruise control, man. You've got employees, everything's running smoothly. Again, visually, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's wins and losses every day. We understand
Every
that,
day.
but I can go ahead and kind of figure those out. Why do I need coaching? Okay, we just need to make a little adjustment here because you want to get better. And I also believe, knowing you again for as long as I hope that you guys really start following not only Brent Wright Incorporated, but the wellness centers as payroll companies and stuff like this, just following us in general, because we're going to share our wins, we're going to share our losses, but never ever being to the point of, I'm going to use this for example, for those biblical people. Gideon was given all this power from God, took advantage of it, and then it just went kind of sideways, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm great. Everyone's following me. I don't need it anymore. The Tiger Woods syndrome. Say that. I'm still a big Tiger fan. Tiger got too big. Kind of like, hey, man, no one could touch me.
Yeah.
Listen, it's very easy to kind of get that in that spot. So I love that you said you have coaching sessions. I love what you read about Instagram on there, but we do fall on systems and strategies sometimes. One thing that I think that if those who don't have a coach, get a coach, because yes, they're going to talk about systems and strategies, but those systems and strategies are never complacent, always changing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And those systems and strategies only change because they get coaching. They're building to be better. Okay, I have this system now. How do I make that better? Okay, I have this strategy. How do I build that to make that better? And that's the point of this. Again, we're not telling you how to do it. We're telling you things that in every episode that we state this, we are not the gurus of how to go make $100 million or $200 million if that's what your goal for is. But we have lived this stuff, and these are trying to take away the bumps in the road to help you become not only better for yourself, but help you become better for others. And the last thing that I love that you have on here, you're doing your leadership is a ripple effect, not only for your company, but for people that watch this, for your Instagram posts, for your family, for the people that show up to it. And I'm using you an example, and I could point the fingers back at the things that that we do here for our agents, so on and so forth, that we may think that are meaningless or super not meaningful, maybe the same words, but it has an effect, and you don't know how that is. So it can kind of be internal. So I've always been impressed by you, by that, of everything that you continue to search to get better.
One little thing. I'm looking for the cheat codes. And I don't want to say that I want to cheat. What I'm saying is the little things that are going to move the needle on an incremental and daily basis. So every day, if I just get just a little bit better, just a little bit different, just a little bit more present, just a little bit more applicable. I want to be relevant every single day. And to be relevant every single day, I have to continue to strive and grow and try to prosper. And for those around me, I want not just myself to prosper and grow. I want those around me to prosper and grow if they so desire. And it may not be everybody's desire. I talked to a guy this morning. I said, hey, you want to take a tour of the wellness center? He's like, wellness to me is just living and surviving each day. Like it's just, he wants to survive. He doesn't want to grow and prosper. And that's wellness to him. And again, that's his deal. I'm not trying to judge the situation. For me, I want to feel that pain of growth. It is, when you get into it, it is lightly addicting. It is a cortisol and adrenaline hit to grow just a little bit every day. And so I'd rather be addicted to that than addicted to alcohol, drugs, all of those things. So,
and one thing that let's go here too, kind of with building with this. You and I are both in the belief that we're being put on here for a purpose. Now, it may take a while for us to find what that true purpose is, but we're still searching for, chasing perfection, relying on excellence. I believe, to me, now again, whoever this person was that you say, hey, that's wellness to me to kind of take that. Sure, if that's the route you want to take, all power to us. I just believe that each and one of us have put on here to make a massive impact in this world. Now we get beaten down by social media, we get beat down by the news or differences in not being in the right tribe, whatever it is to it. Listen, if you're watching this and you're just kind of feeling like, I don't know what my next move is, that's who we hope that this show impacts. Because I believe that if you're watching this right now and you're trying to find out is like, you have been put on this earth to make a bigger impact than Nike, than multiple other companies. It's just surrounding yourself with the right people to get you into the right mindset and to keep you focused and to help you get to that spot to it, because everyone can build to be better if you want to. Not forcing you to do it, take whatever. If you want to sit out there and, be fine with whatever you're doing, then do that, but be the best at it. And that may even be the biggest impact. You don't have to make $100 million to make a big impact in this world. Yeah. Mother Teresa did not make $100 million, but she probably had one of the biggest impact in this world.
Yep.
Martin Luther King did not make $100 million, but he had a big impact.
Well, one of our past guests a couple of weeks ago, her goal is to just be able to donate time to the locals, to all of her local nonprofits. And that's impacting to her. That's the growth she's looking for, right? In her retirement and her next phase in life.
Yeah. And, too,
that's still growth.
It's still growth. And, you have faith of what's going to, and Brent has a lot of faith what his next move is. I have a lot of faith. Our wives have a lot of faith in what they're, just like, hey, we're putting our faith that this is going to happen stuff. But we have to work at it, right? So faith without works is dead.
Correct.
We know that. If you don't know that, now you know that. So those are the things that I just think that are so important, that what Brent was saying on here is that he's constantly trying to get better because he knows he has understood what his purpose is. And that purpose far outweighs everything. I'm also, you kind of hear these things, the Elon Musk, the Andy Frisellas, the Ed Milet's, whatever, to it, they've taken something so small and made it bigger. Is because they did take it, and you said this, one day at a time, right? They're constantly building on this and the ripple effect and what that's generated. You can just go down the list of the people that those guys have affected by themselves and what they've created. And now those guys are taking that and using that as a foundation and building on top of that. And that's what I feel that we've been talking over the last couple of months. And that's what I feel has been missing. We just stop building on the foundations that we've been giving. It's not very hard, especially right now with social media, is to really think, okay, that was a super idea, but if I did this, I could make it better. Make it better. Nike did. Yeah. Nike started something, right? Yeah. Someone's going to blow Nike out of the door sooner or later. Someone's going to blow Amazon out of the door sooner or later. Someone's going to blow Google, Facebook, whatever it is to be, whatever you want to be, some car company. Someone is going to be better at that. It's just that one day at a time.
So I read a quote the other day that said, the difference between the rich and the poor is how they teach their children to accept risk. And it went a little further into it. The rich teach their children to take risks and to be risky, calculated risks, but be risky in their ability to throw money at things or throw time at things and see if they stick, right? The rich aren't rich because they didn't fail. The rich are rich because they failed and tried again. The poor are poor because they failed and gave up. That was the Reader's Digest version of that article I was reading. So
yeah, and poor too could be monetary. It could also be time and stuff like that. So the rich and poor does not have to be monetary. Is why. But yes, I think taking risk with what you do, calculated, rely on those resources, rely on mentors, rely on coaches, talk to somebody about that to help to mitigate that risk and make it a lot better. So those are, and I think that's one thing that I'm really proud of why we're in episode number 49 on this stuff, is because we go back and look at episode number 1 to where we are today. We had some good episodes. We had some great episodes. We also had some, I won't say bad word, but it starts with S and ends with Y episodes too. But you know what? We grew from that. We're building on that. We're going to become better. We have faith in that. We know that our supporters in there. So it's this little things that not only pertain to this podcast, but to our business, and to not really recognize what other people outside that you may see on Instagram or the media or whatever this, recognize what you're doing and watch what they're doing and how you can take what they're doing and help you become better.
Well, how about this? How about the first 38 minutes of this? This is version 2 of this episode because we forgot to push record.
Right.
So
there's the thing that we were talking about.
Yeah. So we talk about technical difficulties, and I see your face getting a little bit red, and but
I'm embarrassed, man. It's just like, it sucks that we had some great conversation in there, and I wish it would automatic record. We missed it. Yeah. But again, I think that we can still say the same thing over on here, is that, one subject, bringing that up, one subject that we talked about is we talked about what I brought up is the Tom Brady roast that everyone's talking about. It's on Netflix and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Chrissy started watching last night. She was laughing and was having a great time with it. I probably would have laughed on it. And what I felt is like, God, and you accomplished all this stuff, and all these guys are just bringing out the dirt part of it. And your response to that was what?
So my response was embrace the dirt, embrace the failures, because that's where he's growing. Again, Tom Brady, I don't know a lot about sports or a lot about what he did, but I've read some interviews and saw some things and where he talks about his failures. Like, in practice, his goal was to, we talked about this earlier, in version A, and that, part of his goal was to throw 10,000 passes and have one that actually, made an impact. And it wasn't the 9,999 perfect ones. Mm-hmm. He was searching for one perfect one out of 10,000.
Mm-hmm. And so what I learned from that conversation that you didn't hear, and then what we kind of just recapped right there, is what I learned about that is, okay, yeah, we can go ahead and he did this and we can go ahead and make fun of that stuff. But what are all the great things that he did because of those things, the bad decisions that he made? How did he correct that and make a big decision? What type of impact that he made, winning seven championships, playing it the longest that anybody's ever played for? I also will use the same thing. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, on top of it, he got paid millions to get roasted and to bring all this out, and he made people laugh, right? So that's the impact.
Yeah. And I will bring up one point too. He just signed a $375 million deal with Fox to be a broadcaster. So great decision.
It's good to be king.
Good to be king. He also made a bad decision with crypto. He was part of that FTX. Brought a lot of people in with him. So again, learn from your mistakes. I'm sure that there's going to be retributions for him, those people that he talked about, especially with his new contracts with this Tom Brady, where somehow, some way that those guys are going to be recompensated one way or another. I'm just sure that typically that happens. But I also feel the same thing about Tiger Woods. A lot of people like to hate on Tiger Woods because a personal decision that he made that really should have only affected him, but everybody wanted to jump on top of him, right? Again, sports guy, there's a lot of great things that Tiger has done. There's a lot of great things. Tiger comes to golf. He still has one of the biggest venues. The golfers that a lot of the golfers that are people that become golfers, professional golfers because of him. His golfing school is some different things. So he's probably learned from those mistakes. We like to concentrate on the negative, but he's building on the mistakes that he had to become better.
Well, because he's present, right?
He's present.
He's present in the now. Like, okay, I made a mistake today. Mm-hmm. And what am I going to do to fix that? What am I going to do to grow? What am I going to do to build off of that? Mm-hmm. Am I going to allow these people to hold me down and just give up? Mm-hmm. Right? Are you going to, you ever had somebody take you down and wrestle you down to the floor and, mm-hmm. and they're like, just say uncle, or tap out, right? So you can't tap out in life. If you're tapping out in life, you might as well just give up and die.
And that's, I brought up this earlier today, when I was talking about building on relationships. Because you've had a failed relationship or something that part of that relationship has failed does not mean that relationship can get better. Or I tried this, it didn't work. How do I become a better husband? How do I become a better father? How do I become a better grandfather? How do I be uncle, aunt, whatever that may be, a friend, a business partner? What are those mistakes that you had instead of it's like, oh, okay, that happened. That relationship's diminished. I'm out. So those are the topic things is, what our little meme is going to be today is Bob the Builder. So be Bob the Builder. Take the foundations, what you have been given, and build on them. Be the better Nike. Be the better Tesla. Be the better Old Guys Still Rock.
Mm-hmm. Coming up on episode 50.
So that's why I said we're always working on how to get better. We're sharing our experiences. We've learned so much through this podcast over the last 49 episodes to make us better. It's resonating. And I will tell you this so much. And I've told you time and time again, started going to therapy. It's helped me out a ton because this episode, we jokingly said about therapy Thursdays. Went home, started talking about my wife, like, hey, man, we got to get back into doing, me getting others. So unveiling all this ish that I grew up with, because we've all grown up with something.
The door handle's fire.
The door handle's fire.
I still use that. That was freaking amazing. Yeah.
It's the best, right?
Yeah.
And there's
lava.
Yeah.
The door handle's lava, right?
It's lava. It's lava.
Isn't that what your wife said?
She does it, man.
I thought the door handle was lava, Blair. What the heck?
And then when sometimes we get in a little bit of rush and she starts going for that door, I'm like, you better not touch that thing. It is hot as lava. She says, oh yeah.
Just that one little tweak, dude.
Right?
That's that one little tweak in your life. How has that impacted you?
It's huge, man. I mean, to the point, and then going back to, I start looking for things like, where have I failed? I'm like, okay, it's not a failure forever. It was a failure of the past. And now I can build on that failure to become better. Listening to the Greg Rochelle's and the Andy Frisella's and all this stuff and reading and different things to, went back to the power list of 5 because those things are going to hold me accountable not to blow things off because I want to be better.
How many times did you fail at 75 hard?
Once.
How many times were you successful at 75 hard?
Once.
Right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I went through the Live Hard program. I did 180 days, man. I did it. Drove my wife crazy. She never wants me to do it again, but I did it. It's one of the best things I ever did for me because now when the bitch voice comes into me, I'm like, I'm not going to let this sit back, continue to help me build what I'm here to do. And whatever that is to it is I have to ask God every day, what do you want me to do with this? I have no idea. I've tried to control it in the past. I suck at controlling it because I end up making bad decisions. So I rely on him to help me get better.
Yeah.
Right. And to, one of the greatest things that I started doing, which I did in the past, went away from it, really felt the effects of it. It's super transparent to, I'm always in, I just told you I go to therapy, but I am started making in my power list, one of my power list events is to pray with my wife every morning before I leave the house. And I'm praying for our marriage because right now I see marriages fail left and right, from early age marriages to later in life, like 40-year, 50-year marriages are failing. That scares the ish out of me. Because if it's that easy to end something after 40 or something years, or even after 2 years, that comes into me where it's like, okay, somebody stop. I'm just using this right now as a reference. Someone stopped building. Someone got complacent. and we can talk about marriages, relationships, businesses, whatever. So that was one of the things to it. My wife does not get up early in the morning, but I have to make a point because it's up to me to be the example of how to get better, not only for our marriages, but for other marriages that we may not be in contact with. See where I'm going with that?
Yeah. So I did a similar thing a couple of weeks ago. I started challenging myself to do things that nobody can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I started, while my family is asleep, I started going to their door if their door's closed for the kids. We have new cats, and so my daughter doesn't like the cats going in and messing up her stuff, so she keeps her door closed. So I don't disturb her in the morning before I leave. I get up early as well, and I go in there and I pray at her door for her, for the day coming up, that she can be successful, that she can be impactful in the world, that she can be safe, and all those things. And I started challenging myself. This is the first anybody's heard of it. My wife will listen to this and she's never seen me do it, because while she's sleeping, before I wake her up in the morning, I'm praying over her. And it's made a lasting impact in my attitude and how I look at the day and how I'm present going forward in the day. And I'm hoping that it makes a difference in their lives as well.
How can you be mad if you've had like a rough night before? Because spouses go through. I mean, you have trials and tribulations.
Yep.
If you have a trial and tribulation the night before, however it ends, it's up to you. But how do you be mad? How can you be mad after praying? It's
you
can't, right? It's such an incredible feeling. Again, listen, what Brent said this is not to make us look great. This is just an example or something to help you build on something. And he said, no one had to know about this, and he's not looking for a recognition like, oh, how sweet. That's not the point. The point is for him, and I'm speaking for him on this. Should have known you for so long.
Yeah.
The point of it is, it's like someone needs to hear that. My marriage sucks right now. My relationships with my kids suck right now. Something needs to hear is that how can I be mad, or how do I not feel like a failure in something that I did because I'm praying on them?
Well, the worst thing for me is that I can't protect my family while they're not with me.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to believe that there's a higher power, that there's somebody looking out for them, because it fills me with anxiety. I'm not an anxious person, but the fact that I can't be there every minute of the day to protect my family is a huge, huge hindrance in my mental state every day. So I'm praying for my children and my wife, and I'm praying over them while they sleep, and it's helping me, and it's helping them, and it's helping the world. Like you said, I can't have a bad day if I start the day in that. So, and everybody's different, and everybody has their own spiritual situation, and we talk about this. This is just an example of what we do. But do a breathing exercise. That might be a tool. Do a meditation if you're not a spiritual person. Do something that will move the needle and help you build on having a positive day and making a difference in the world and making a difference in your world, in your day, in your life.
Amen. Amen. Well, brother, I know that you need to get out of here. I need to get out of here because we had technical difficulties. We actually did a Joe Rogan today, but you only saw 30 minutes of it. So stay tuned for some more, because episode number 50 is coming. But with that being said, man, any final words for you?
Just go make a damn difference. And I appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
And appreciate all the opportunities to help others throughout the day.
Yeah. We're going to manifest this right now, but stay tuned. I promise you, as we hit episode number 50 next week, we're going to be working heavily behind the scenes to bring out some cool stuff with you. But if you see this episode and something resonated with you, come on, man, we need you. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, whatever it is, we need you to share this show because there's just so much important content. We have to stop relying on what we're being fed through memes, or what we've read that is a false reality sometimes on social media and the news. Take what we have, use that, make it better. Here's the foundation we laid for you. We know that you guys are going to have a different purpose in life. But take the foundation, what we gave you today, and make it better. So take some of our words, take some of our actions, and be better than us. But the biggest thing is we want to hear back what you took from today and how you made it better for what we said. And then teach us how we can become better on top of that so we can constantly build on top of each other. So, man, we love you so entirely much. We would not be in episode 49 without you. So keep sharing that show. If you haven't done so and you see this episode, subscribe to our channel either on Spotify or onto YouTube. We'll try to find some other avenues as we get more and more into this. So that's about it. Have a great, great day. Stay safe, but most of all, God bless. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.